Hey,
Hello, hello, hello.
good evening, folks.
We are live.
So we're going to talk.
I hear dogs in the background barking at your house.
Yeah, they're here. Lala's outside walking around, so our alarm system is in full service. So look at this. We have 5 people in here because if we're going to talk about everyone's favorite friends, the dogs. Got just kind of a few. I'm gonna wait till we get a few folks in here. Got some housekeeping things. We got some mail this week from MB Heritage Farms and another from Mickelson Family Farm. So up in, we're gonna go through them in a second, and then we also logged in, rocking Ricky La, but in a Zoom in another window, letting her roll. Hopefully this tortuous Zoom meeting ends. Yeah, Jules, I get stuck on those Zoom meetings all the time, and I absolutely detest them. They're impossible to manage. So a friend of ours.
You had a Zoom meeting literally every Wednesday before the live. So it was like you were talking to the camera for a good 2-3 hours on some Wednesdays whenever we were still living up there.
Yeah, I mean, I've had calls up until 6:30 last night. So just makes people availability way too easy, this stupid Zoom thing. So this week, the friend of ours, the breeder that we're getting our pigs from, he found these for us. Isn't that cool? It's an energy drink called Goat Fuel, and he got us 2 cans of it, one blueberry lemonade and the other peach pineapple, and it's called Goat Fuel. Goat Fuel.
I want to see both of you drink those because neither one of you drink, much less you than mom, but or I want to see much more you than mom, but you drink no soda at all. On a very rare occasion, you'll drink a Coca-Cola, and so I still don't drink a lot of soda, but whenever I do drink an energy drink, it's like, oh man, it's a strong.
Well, so it'll have to be like the weekend when I drink it. So it might be an impromptu live. Lala and I chugging an energy drink.
So who we got? We've had Paula. We've had Paula in here since 6:35. So hello, Paula. And then, like you had,
Paula wants to talk about her dog.
Go ahead.
Paula wants to talk about her doggos, apparently. I know Nisi from Free Handley Made wants to talk about her doggos. She actually sent us a picture of her doggos. And so we're going to get some folks on here in a bit talking about their pooches, because we got a bunch of pooches between Rick and I and our working dog. We got 6. Is that correct?
Yes. 6? You got Boone, Ellie, Hazel, then you got Betsy, who's the she's the livestock guardian dog, and then you got Dixie and you got Monster.
So Paula, welcome. We got Nisi from Free Handley Made. Alicia Hall.
Alicia, you have never seen Alicia's dog, nor have I ever told you about Alicia's dog, but she's got a adorable thing that doesn't eat dog food. It literally just eats ham and cereal. Eats cereal with her every single morning. One of the cutest dogs I've ever seen. But it's very, very cute. And her and Ed absolutely adore that dog.
Alicia says, I'm excited to talk about one of my favorite subjects. Liking it. Michael Harris, welcome, sir. How are you? I've been meaning to give you a call. I've just been swamped busy. So I'm gonna call you tomorrow, Michael, just to catch up. I haven't talked to you in a while. Same thing with Paula. I'm gonna give Paula a call out of the blue tomorrow, just to surprise her, because she's so regimented. I'm just gonna call her out of the blue with no warning and drive her bonkers. Jules, how are you, sir? Go over there and check out. Jules just did a gardening video, released it, I don't know, an hour ago, 5:30, I think. And it's amazing what that man still got going on in that garden. Mine looks like a train wreck. Hat Creek Homestead, welcome. And Alicia says her dog is a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. So, all right. So this says we got like 5 people in here. So everyone knows a couple of weeks ago I put out a call we got our stickers, our updated stickers. I told everybody send me some stickers and we will do a sticker exchange. So this is what I got from MB Heritage. Man, I hate these cameras. You Grow Food. This is from their Garden Gurus program. I think they do that jointly with Jules Small Garden. Nona Grace, welcome. You guys haven't been over to Nona Grace. She is one of the most wonderful storytellers I have ever listened to with her. And this is the other MB Heritage sticker there. And they sent me this card. Beauty is within you. So MB Heritage will be sticking you some stickers in the mail this week. And got this morning from a nice little letter from Mickelson Family Farm. Now this is a farm up in Minnesota. Mickelson Family Homestead. So these are cool. I like this one. It's kind of die cut sticker. That's pretty cool. So we will be getting you some stickers out in the mail today. And again, if anyone wants to do a sticker exchange, I've tasked Lala with setting up, how she's going to put stickers up. So she's going to be doing a sticker board out in the main barn because we're out there all the time, and hopefully we'll be able to highlight that when we're doing some of our videos. Kind of make it look like a surfer dude's apartment, they got stickers everywhere, except ours will be homestead stickers all over the barn. That'll be kind of cool. I think I'm going to order some stickers, says Nisi. We'll order some. We're going to send, you got some stickers coming, Nisi, but I got to get Madeline. I got to get on Madeline's schedule. Anybody that follows the channel knows Madeline's a busy little girl, and Madeline's got to write Miss Nisi a thank you letter because she did a donation for Madeline's church group trip up to Tennessee, and we just haven't been able to corner her long enough to get that done. But that's going to be coming soon. So we're going to be sending some random stickers out to folks, I think, over the next few weeks. We got to get back from the Pensacola trip before we do that, though, so it might be a little bit. So let's talk about dogs. So you hear this loud thing in the background. I'm going to turn my speaker around. How do I do that, Rick? Hold on. So cam mic. We'll go to my rear camera here. So that noise that you hear in the background is Ellie. So Ellie is hiding now that she knows I'm talking to her. She thinks she's in trouble. Ellie is a Great Dane, and she is about 3 years old, and she knows the only time I follow her around is when she's in trouble. Ellie, come here. Come here. So she is as big as she looks. She's about 125 pounds. Come here, baby. She is the alpha of our house, and I never heard that Great Danes are really. I always thought that they were couch cushions, but she is an incredible watchdog. She does very, very protective. She's probably the only dog in the house that I would really worry about biting somebody if they came near, particularly the kids. All right, and that one there, that is our boxer. That's Hazel. Hazel's about 6 years old, 6.5, 7 years old. And she just walks around licking her chops and panting all day long. That's Hazel's favorite pose right there. All the little marks you see on her, those are from surgeries that she's had over her life for removal of little tumors. So we end up taking her to the vet every year, and she has 2 or 3 little tumors removed, and she looks like a Frankenstein science experiment. And then that's Boone. Boone's in every video we ever publish because he follows me around in every single video, and he's everywhere on the farm. So he kind of used to seeing him around. And that's my Hazy. So this her full name, her full Southern name is Hazel Louise, and that is Ellie Mae. She still thinks she's in trouble because I'm pointing the camera at her. Nona Grace, I was not a fan of boxers whatsoever, because as puppies, they are really, really high maintenance. But as they get older, they start calming down, and they become really, really loyal. And that's what she is. It's kind of hilarious. Let me turn my camera back around here. It's kind of hilarious to watch Hazel every night she starts around 9:15 every single night. She will just come in, sit in front of me, sitting on the couch, and just start. It's really not a growl. It's just like like she's telling me it's time for bed. We go to bed at 10 o'clock every night. And about 9:30, she starts coming out and telling Lala and I, it is time to go to bed, and she will not stop until we go to bed. So about 9:50 or so, we end up taking her outside, and she immediately bolts to the bedroom and gets up in her own personal. They've got their own bed, and maybe we'll talk about that. Maybe we won't. It's a really odd topic for me, their bed.
Gotta love Lala.
Yeah, she loves her dogs. I'm not sure if she's going to be on here. I know she was coming back up, but she'll have lots to say about her dogs. The only thing that she loves more than her goats is her dog. And I don't know if that's a true statement. That might be an absolute dead tie. So, Rick, you want to chat about your dog real quick? Introduce them, or we want to bring someone else on?
No, I mean we can. I'm gonna go ahead and share out that live. But yeah, I mean, like Papa said, let's see.
Hey, Jan, how are you? Welcome.
So, if you want to talk about your doggos, the link for that is in the comment section. No, I have Monster, which is a absolute just a huge teddy bear of a dog. He's like right now he's getting a little bit older. He started losing a little bit of weight. It's definitely not because he doesn't eat. But he is about 85 pounds. Stands maybe like a foot and a half, but he's just as wide as he is tall. And so big, huge head on him. But he just kind of lazies around the house. Chelsea works from home. And he just kind of lazies around the house. And he has a section in the front living room, the living space, that he just lays on the couch and he stays there literally all day long. Then you got Dixie, and Dixie is a blue heeler border collie mix. By far the smartest dog I've ever had. We actually had visitors over to the farm last weekend, and she was off doing her own thing. And I looked at the guy that was over there, the group of people that were over there, and I said, watch this. I said, this dog has had no training whatsoever. She literally just hears Lala. She hears Lala say, "Dad, is your camera turned?" Or
oh, I got to turn it back around. Keep talking.
But sees the Lala going and yelling at the goats, "Hey, get back in the pasture." And so really all I have to do is say, "Ya goats, ya," and Dixie comes running over, blaze of fire behind her as fast as she can to the goat barn to try to help get the goats back in the pasture. It's just a cool sight to watch, and that's with no training whatsoever. And so Papa's made a comment that he'd love to see Dixie kind of help out at the barn. Kind of love to see her help out in the pasture as far as keeping goats out of areas that they don't need to be in while we're working on something. Maybe we have a fence open or a gate open. And but Really, the only time she ever works on the farm is when Lala is not at the farm, and we can keep that hush hush. So she knows I do it. But we got Niecy with a looks like she's got a pup next to her. Hello, dear.
Hey, I got 2.
How are you doing?
I'm good. This is kind of where they stay.
Yeah, right next to you.
Right on me.
Well, that's where mine would love to stay, but they're all approaching 80 pounds, so they don't do that much. Those are adorable.
They're Chiweenies. This
So
one
that's
doesn't like the camera. Mr. Handsome just woke up.
That's what Ellie's doing, but out the back
They're
window.
letting me know that Daddy woke up. So this is Paisley. They're actually sisters, and they're from the same litter. The father was a Dachshund, and the mother was a Chihuahua. And we actually we got we got her first. No, we didn't. Wait, which one did we get first, honey? Do you remember? Yeah, we got the black one first for my daughter, my youngest daughter.
Right.
But I felt so bad because she was the last puppy they had. So I called the lady back. I'm like, do you still have the other one available? And she's like, yeah, I do. I'm like, I want it.
My brother-in-law's got 2 Chihuahuas, same mother, same father, but they're a year apart, and they look exactly alike, but one is probably twice as big as the other. So it's weird how all that genetics works.
It is, and because I mean, she looks more like a Chihuahua. But she has the short, stubby Dachshund legs, but she had everything else on her looks like Chihuahua, and her body's a little bit bigger, like a Dachshund. And then the black one, she's all long and lean like a Dosh, but then she's got the long Chihuahua legs.
Right.
It's just so weird.
When I was growing up, my mother always had Chihuahuas, and that's really the only dog that I ever had in the house that I recall. When I was really, really young, I think they had a German Shepherd, but it bit one of my brother or sister, and they got rid of him. So it was always little tiny Chihuahuas, and I think that's why I don't have Chihuahuas now. I'm rebelling, and now I only have gigantic dogs.
Well, hubby has already said that once these 2 cross the Rainbow Bridge, we're getting a big dog. No more little ones. And I'm not allowed to choose. He gets to choose.
So it'll be his turn.
It's going to be his turn. Yep.
So what are their names?
This one is Paisley, and the black one is Briley. Because, their names have to kind of rhyme together.
Paisley and Brisley?
Paisley and Briley.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I'm going to step down because I got to feed my boys, but I just wanted to come on real quick and show the pooches.
Oh, Niecy, thank you very much.
Since this live is all about our dogs, why not?
Well, I was sitting there this morning. I was going to work, and I'm thinking, what is the topic going to be today? And I'm like, everybody likes talking about their dogs, so I bet that'll be a popular topic. We can chat about dogs for an hour.
Okay, I gotta feed Mr. Handsome.
All right.
But I'll be in the live chat, you guys.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all. Yeah, when I was growing up, we always had Kyle Randall. How are you, sir? Good to see you. Jan, Simply Jan Homestead. Amy, Crazed Family Homestead. Welcome. So when I was growing up, we always had Chihuahuas, and then when Rick was very young, this is I don't know if it's funny or if it's kind of sad. We didn't tell him until he was literally an adult what we had done. But we went to the dog pound when Rick was probably, how old were you when we had that dachshund?
I was young.
So he's probably 6, 7 years old, and he wanted another dog. So we went to the pound and we found a dachshund. It was an older dog. It wasn't a pup. So we had never, Kimberly or Lala or I had never had a dachshund before. So we really had no. Paula says I put 2 photos up for you at the Lala farm. So we'd never had any experience with dachshunds. So we figured, all right, well, we'll adopt this dog. Holy mackerel, were we surprised how much those dogs dig. And I know, so I started doing some research on why did the dachshund breed come about? And essentially that's what they were for. They were to dig into holes and take out, pull animals out of holes. And so holy man, we could not keep that animal contained, and it kept running out, and then it would get into my neighbor's yard. It started a fight with one of their dogs. So Rick woke up one day and the dog was gone. We had to take it back to the pound, and Rick was a mess, and we just told him that the dog ran away, and that's what he believed all the way up until, I don't know, just a few years ago. We told him the truth, that we ended up taking the dachshund to the pound, and we've had all kinds of dogs over the years. Probably my favorite by far, he passed away 2 years ago, was a dog named Pooh. And somebody in here said that they've always had chow chows. And Pooh who was that? Anybody that wants to come into the live to kind of talk about your dogs, press on the link or click on the link that Rick has shared out. He found Rick took everything up to the dump. We don't have garbage collection in our town. We got to take it up to the dump. And so the animal control is right behind where the dump is. And so he went up, took the garbage up to the dump, and when he was leaving, well, you want to tell the story, Rick?
You're talking about whenever I brought Pooh home?
Yeah.
Well, it was my job, mainly because I was recently given a driver's license. And so I went to the dump and I did that run every single week. And whenever I went up there one day, there was this, he was a little bit bigger than a softball. And it was just this golden looking teddy bear thing. And so I brought him home, and my mom did not believe me that I had gotten it from the dump. She did not believe me 1 second that it was a dump puppy. She just, at first they were like, well, we can't keep a dog. And they always said that. And that's the way a lot of the dogs that we've had in the past, whenever I was living with my mom and dad, we can't keep it. We can't keep it. We can't keep it. And then we always kept it because my mom can't say no to dogs. But he just ended up being one of the best dogs that we've had, and we've had a lot of dogs. But he ended up being one of the longest living dogs too. So that's
why we kind of have by the memory. One of our videos is about the quote unquote memory tree, and it's just a way that we could continue to honor our dogs when they pass. We now have cemetery, and Lala buys stones and we put the stone over there as a marker so that we can kind of go out, sit in a little chair under the memory tree and remember our past doggos. But Pooh is probably my all-time.
We got some pictures of Paula's dogs. So look at that little thing dressed up for Christmas. So
he's adorable.
Yeah. Are her feet dyed red? I think I just noticed that. It looks like her feet are dyed red. So
what'd you do? Put them in food coloring?
Dropped it in a bucket of paint.
That's
adorable. We got another one.
She says, "Yep, that's exactly." No kidding.
We got another one. Old pug. Gotta love a pug. I think the biggest thing, I don't think I've ever seen a pug that was like in shape. They're usually all like sausage dogs.
I don't think that's one dog. That's one breed, and we've had a lot of different kinds of dogs. That's one breed we have never had was a pug, ever.
Yeah.
Never even had a mix of a pug.
I think they're funny when they breathe because they're always snoring. Always.
They're
So
kinda like-
thank you, Paula, for sending in pictures of your fur babies. If you look on the screen, see your dogs on the live by going to Facebook and posting a picture of them. Really, literally, all you have to do is post a picture of your dog in your news feed, and then in the description, put hashtag the Lala Farm Dog Live, and that's how Paula got hers up there. If you guys don't want to come on the live, which I understand. If you guys don't want to come onto the live, go on there and just make sure that it's typed out exactly the way that is, the Lala Farm Dog Live, and I'll be able to pull those photos up and we can put them up on Facebook. So
I didn't say hello to Ann from Little Frenchie in Big Texas. Welcome, Ann. How are you? Been enjoying in your videos on looking at the supply chain issues. You kind of predicted that a few weeks back. Jan, you want to come on?
So which dog are you referring to, Paula? The dyed feet dog or the pug? I don't think I saw that comment.
I think she's talking about the pug because I see Paula's on my Facebook feed as well, and there's
Got a Hat Creek inside the box below.
I think she's talking about the pug because
Hi.
I see Paula's on my Facebook. How are you? There's
Hi.
A Hat Creek inside the box below.
Oh, yes, we have
Do you have YouTube open? Do you have YouTube open? There's a echo.
Oh, there you go.
oh, yes, we have removable.
Do you have YouTube open?
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yes, we have removable.
Well, we're getting a lot of feedback on the audio.
If you have YouTube open, try to close that. There was a lot of echo on your end. We'll bring you back in.
YouTube.
There you go.
I forgot to turn off YouTube.
There you go.
There you go.
This
So
is
that
Ross.
looks like the classic Basset.
He is a Basset. This is my son's service dog.
Wow.
My son's last name is Strain. The dog's name is Roscoe Pico Strain.
So that's one of the dogs that we had a mix. So we had one of the dogs we had, and it's the first dog we ever specifically got for Rick, and he was probably 4 years old when we got him that dog, and his name was Itchy, named off from like All Dogs Go to Heaven, the Basset Hound on that.
We've had Roscoe.
Yeah,
2 years.
he was a Beagle Basset mix, and so instead of calling him a Beagle Basset mix, we always just called him a bagel. So we thought that was pretty clever. And I swore that dog was going to live for my entire life. And I was at that point in my life, I was dead set on the fact that I was going to be a truck driver for whatever reason. And I went ahead and I told my dad and my mom, I said, he's going to live forever and we're going to travel the country together. And I'm like 4 or 5 years old. And, of course that didn't happen, but yeah, I love that dog to death. I still have photos of him. He was an adorable dog.
So how old is he, Dawn?
He's 2.
Is he a trained service dog or is he more of a companion dog?
He's a trained service dog.
kidding. That's cool. I don't think I've ever seen a basset hound as a trained service dog. That's cool.
Yeah, he's
Does he go to school with your son?
no, he doesn't go to school with my son, but it's mainly because he's more of a distraction to the other kids. He'll lay there and be quiet. The other kids, everyone wants to pet him. And so he doesn't go to school. Anytime we go out in public, he comes with us. And then like at night, he goes inside with my son. But this dog loves to be outside.
Yeah.
He whines. If you take him in the house, he will whine and scratch at the door, and he jumps on the door. He's actually torn 2 doors up trying to get back outside. So he's an outside service dog most of the time.
No, that's cool. That is an absolutely awesome breed. If we, way down the road, because obviously we have lots of dogs, but that's probably one I've talked to Lala that we would entertain another basset hound. They are a great dog.
Yes, he's very protective. And when my little one that's 5, he comes out the back door, he's learned he can climb over our back fence, which it was put here to keep him inside because we live in town, and the highway is like literally like you can see ours highway. And so he anytime the little one comes out the door, he has a different tone of bark. So I know immediately by his bark that kid has gotten out the back door.
Rick, do you remember what your dog, what Itchy used to do when he would get so wound up inside and he got yelled at for barking in the house?
No.
So we would yell, basset hounds, if you've never heard them bark, it's this really loud, deep, almost from the gut kind of long. It's more like it's kind of a combination of a bark and a howl that happened concurrently. And so it was a relatively small house made of concrete blocks, so it echoed like crazy in that house. So Itchy would get yelled at whenever he would bark. So over time, we got him trained to he would not bark inside. So he would run as fast as those legs would carry him to the back door where we had a doggy door.
The doggy door.
And he would stick his head out the door and just let it go for like 5 minutes. He would do nothing but howl out the back door for probably 5 minutes. It was the most hilarious thing. And he would not come back in until he was done.
Yeah. I got Monster now. He doesn't really holler. He doesn't really howl on the inside. Or inside, but whenever he goes outside, especially when we lived further in town where you hear a lot of sirens and whatnot, sirens and train horns. If he heard sirens or train horns, he howled like a basset hound or a beagle would.
Yeah. Well, he's adorable. Look at them long ears.
Yeah, he trips over them. When he was a puppy, he used to trip over them. It was the funniest thing.
That's awesome. So you just got the one dog?
Well, here we have one dog. Oh, well, now you can hear him. You gonna bark at me?
See, that's there you go. We got a couple of new folks in here.
Our farm.
We got Hedgehogs Homestead, welcome. And Boone Child is here visiting, so welcome, Boone.
So we raise coonhounds as well.
Okay.
At my husband's farm, we have a black and tan, and then we have 3 red ticks, and then we have a mountain cur squirrel dog.
Well, when we first moved over to where we are now, my son, they were kind of city kids. My daughter, how old were you when we moved over here, Ricky? 13, 14?
I was going into 10th grade.
So how old are you? 14? Over
15, 16, somewhere around there.
So he was in his 10th grade of high school. Rebecca was in the second year of middle school when we moved to this county. And neither one of them wanted to come. So we ended up bribing them with gifts to get over here. Well, what they wanted Ricky wanted a new computer, so we were going to get him a computer anyway. So he got a computer for high school. But Rebecca wanted for some odd reason, she'd never had any exposure. She wanted a beagle. And so we got a beagle, and my goodness, I did not know what I was in for. Those hunting dogs are just something to contain.
Yeah, if you don't know, a cat has the same scent as a raccoon, and so we have an older lady with the dogs are at the farm, and her cats come through the yard every once in a while, and sometimes they don't make it back home.
Well, that's kind
They're
of
coon dogs. That's what they're trained to do.
That's exactly right. I mean, that's kind of what I tell folks with Betsy, who's our livestock guardian dog. Now, nobody comes onto the property unless they're invited, because we never know exactly where she's at. She may be back in the barn, but she's probably sleeping under the camper, and she's got a hole that she has dug. So you really don't know if she's there or not unless you go over and kind of look down into the hole, because all you see is the top of her head. You really got to know what you're looking for. So anything that would come onto this farm that doesn't belong here, she dispatches very, very quickly. This was last year. We had this big yellow, kind of like a Garfield looking cat. It was a gigantic cat, big yellow striped cat. And it kept coming around, and it would drive the cats, our barn cats, away from their food. And so Betsy would chase it off. Well, apparently it came back one too many times, because one day when we called Betsy back up to feed her, she comes, just as proud as she could be, prancing up to get her food with a big yellow patch like this big hanging out of her mouth. So not only had she killed it, but she had eaten it. And yeah. I mean, we rarely see squirrels. We don't see small animals of most any kind, because she just gets rid of it. And God help anything. People ask us, they find it hard to believe that we free range our chickens. And we have never contained our chickens since we've owned chickens for 5-6 years now, 4 or 5 years. And, but Betsy kind of she really is more of a protector of the chickens than she is the goats. So there was a red-tailed hawk this last weekend, kind of squeaking or squawking, whatever you call it, on the tree line over where we're building this new barn, and you could hear it. So she came up and she laid down in the middle of this field. Now the sun's just beating down on her, and she's got the thickest hair you could imagine, but she's just laying in that field, so that the chickens could go out and plunder the grass. So when they went back in, she went away and did her thing, but she protects these chickens like crazy. It's nuts.
We keep our coon dogs in a kennel, but then they have runs that we let them out on, because we don't hunt them all the time. When it's hot, I don't like snakes or ticks or chiggers. And so we don't hunt until fall, winter time. And so they keep them pinned up, because if we don't, there wouldn't be a chicken, a groundhog, a squirrel, a rabbit in the mile radius of our farm, because they don't bother the chickens too much, but groundhogs, chipmunks, squirrels, rabbits, they got into our rabbit cage. We got the kids some silver fox rabbits for 4-H. Ooh. And we had let the dogs out to run. We were at the farm, so sometimes we just let them loose to run while we're there. And we heard this really high-pitched squeak noise, and we got over to the rabbit pen, and they had actually clawed the bottom of the cage off and eaten 2 of our 4-H rabbits. So then we got to drive all the way back to Oklahoma and buy 2 more. Wow. At $60 a piece.
Yeah, that's a very distinct. We had our rabbits, this was before we got Betsy. 2 outside dogs got in, and they broke into the rabbit cage, and that's a very distinctive sound as rabbits are getting killed. You can hear that, because it woke us up out of a dead sleep. And unfortunately, it was too late for both of them.
We've now fortified the rabbit cage, and we've made it where the pen is dog proof, and we've kenned it off where the dogs can't even get to it now. But lesson learned.
Yeah, it's a very, very distinctive sound. So how many hunting dogs do you have?
We have 5.
Do you name them?
Yes. The black and tan is named Angus. And we actually had his mom and dad on our place. They both passed away, but I bottle fed them. He was a litter of 12, and he's the only one that survived. And I bottle fed him. And he's now, I think he's 10, almost 10 years old.
Wow,
And then,
a 10-year-old hunting dog?
yeah, he's a black and tan coonhound. And then we have Bonnie and Sikkim Sam, and they're both English red tick coonhounds. And they had a litter of pups. And so one of the pups is named Clyde. And so we have Bonnie and Clyde and Sikkim Sam. And then we have Fats, or Sophie, and she's a mountain cur dog. She's our squirrel dog, rabbit dog. Mainly a Russian bear dog because she's kind of lazy. You rush around the corner and bear down on a buttered biscuit, and it has to be warm and buttered because she won't eat it otherwise.
Hedgehog Homestead are talking about the ravages. Yeah, they make a really weird squealing sound, and it's sad. It is. I mean, it's a very distinctive sound when a rabbit is parting. So yeah.
Yes, but I've got to get off here and go feed these kids. They think they need to eat every day or something. I don't know what's wrong with them.
Right, I know. I tell my kids that all the time.
I'm like,
Don,
they've been here as long as I have. Don't they know where the kitchen is?
Yeah. I have to tell them that the kitchen's closed. Yep.
We legit have a padlock on our snack cabinet because my son that's autistic, he will just eat himself till he vomits because he doesn't know when to stop.
Yeah.
And
We'll know when Patrick has made his way into the pantry because he'll take one of the big stools from the island in the kitchen
and it squeaks across
drag it into the pantry and then get all the way up on the top shelf and get his snacks. So yeah. So, well, thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Don, take care.
Bye.
Great. So, Amy, Crazy Family Homestead, thank you for stopping in. I really, really appreciate it. Got to take care of them kiddos. Rick from Twin Brook Acres, welcome. I like the greetings, Earthlings. I like it.
Again, if you guys want to come on to the live, we still got a little bit over 15 minutes. Talk about your doggos, your fur babies. So, and also, again, I've put it up. I've taken it down a couple times, but I've put it back up. Again, if you guys want to see your dog on the live, like I said, if you don't want to join the live, but you still want to see your dogs on the live, make them YouTube famous with the 12 people we have in here. If you want to go ahead and see your dog on the live, follow this right here, Facebook, post a picture, and then all you gotta do is in the description just put the La La Farm Dog Live, and I can go ahead and pull it up, and I will not share your personal name, but I'll go ahead and I'll just put the picture on the live so you guys can see it. So we got Kyle Randall. Hey, buddy.
Kyle, how are you, buddy?
Hey,
And we got Laura from.
See my dog. Come here.
Hello, guys.
Isn't that funny when you bring the dogs in? It brings everybody out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
They love them dogs.
We love our
Hold on,
dogs.
I'll be right back. Come here, buddy.
How are you guys doing? Oh my
I am
goodness.
doing
Give me
good,
a nice
Laura.
and
How are you? Well, welcome to our live.
I am live. Come here, Norman.
Here he is.
Come here.
Oh, he's adorable, Kyle. What kind of dog? So what's his name?
This was Scoops.
Scoops.
He's a
What
Cardigan
kind-
Welsh
what kind-
Corgi.
Okay.
Is that you said it's a border collie?
No, he's a Cardigan Welsh Corgi.
Welch Corgi. I just can't see how long his legs are, so I wasn't sure.
And
My,
short.
my-
There you go.
oh, there we go.
Well, he's a confirmation champion. AKC.
Wow, really? He's beautiful.
Yeah, me and the late wife used to raise and show him. He's the last one we had.
There you go.
My daughter, I don't know anything about corgis, Kyle, other than, they're really adorable, kind of round dogs with short legs. And
Yeah. Well,
my daughter just,
They're
Huh?
herding dogs.
My daughter just got a corgi because she's absolutely in love with the breed. She just thinks they're the most adorable looking thing. So,
They are.
They are. They're pretty cute.
are they indoors or outdoors dogs generally?
They can be either one. They get the winter coat on. They can be outside. But I was wanting to breed. His father was up in Kansas City, Missouri area. I was wanting to breed females soon. And I come across a lady at the Nationals one year that ended up breeding to that male. And one day it was back before we had high-speed internet at home. Before I'd go to work, I'd stop somewhere and get on somebody's Wi-Fi. And this lady bred to this male and she put him on YouTube. And I just fell in love with him. I said, after I got home or I got to work, I texted my wife. I said, we got to get this pup.
Now, Laura, what is your dog?
That got two of them. The little one is he is a wired hair dachshund. They thought I
He's
said
talking to us.
D, yeah. And then we have the black lab over here, Astro Jetson.
Astro Jetson.
How old is Astro Jetson?
Astro Jetson is 12 years old.
Wow, old fella then.
That's
And,
how
Norman.
You said that's how old yours is, Kyle?
Yep, he's 12.
Oh wow.
And he's 9. The little one's 9, Norman.
So this is Boone, Laura. You didn't see him. You came in after I showed him, but he is our black lab.
Oh,
And,
handsome.
he's the one that you see in all of our videos is Boone. He follows me around like a shadow.
Yep, so does this one.
They are incredibly loyal dogs. He would be my favorite dog ever that we've had, but he won't give me a kiss. It's some weird thing. I don't know.
Yeah, Astro won't either unless it's kind of like you make him, like you have to ask and ask and ask for him to do it. But
Will your dog give you a kiss, Kyle?
He does every once in a while. He's up on my lap. He's getting a little hot, so he's probably getting ready to get down.
I want to see him kiss. I want to see him kiss Paula.
She wants to kiss Paul. Well, Paul's inside the house. I'm out on the front porch.
All right.
But,
Paula's moderating.
well, when I leave to go to work, I put him up in bed with her. I said, if I don't, he'll sit there and whine and wake her up. So I got to put him in bed with her. So,
That's how Monster is. As soon as I leave, Monster immediately goes to the couch and he'll just sit there and he'll wait all day long until I get home.
yeah.
Monster's a good monster. This is Rick's. What do you call him?
He is a blue pit mainly, but he's got he's a blue pit, but he also has Mastiff, and so he's got a monstrous size head.
When Rick first brought him home, he was one they just found. I would not allow that dog to be brought to my house because he just looked so mean and vicious, like he would bite anything that came near him.
oh,
And it was probably 3 years before Monster
But
ever.
Lord, he never bit anybody. He's a sweetheart. He just looks really mean.
He is the most gentle animal, by far the most gentle animal on the farm. And
I don't know how well y'all see that, but that's actually a picture that I got that
he's
Chelsea got me
handsome.
for Christmas,
what a
and that's actually hand drawn. But that's my boy.
yeah, Monster Rick. For I live on the front of the property, and Rick lives on the back of the property. And between the two homes, there's a path that goes from front to back. And so between Monster and Boone, they kind of have, it's kind of like they have vacation residences because we never know exactly where they're going to be. If Monster just wants to take like a little vacation, he comes up front comes in with us, and we don't even know that he's here because he will go upstairs and lay in front of the kind of the alcove window that goes to the front. And we don't know he's here until late at night or something. And we'll just hear something coming down the stairs and it'll be Monster. And, Boone's done the same thing. He'll go back to Rick's house and they don't even realize he's there until he feeds his dogs. And then Boone shows up too.
Nice.
And on those nights, I have to look at my mom and I have to tell her, hey, Boone's already eaten. Or there's been 1 or 2 times where I've actually told my mom, I'm like, hey, Boone will be back in the morning. He's going to spend the night. So, and then he just stays here.
Cool.
Paula, tell Kyle, thank you for coming in. I don't know if Kyle's still on, but I know Paula is. So tell
Kyle, thanks.
Kyle, thank you for coming in and showing off y'all's food.
I gotta make dinner, guys. I appreciate you letting me come up, and
Thank you very much.
Laura, it's a pleasure meeting you, and thanks for showing us your dog.
yeah, thanks for letting me up.
Cool.
Bye, guys.
All right,
All right,
bye-bye.
we'll see you.
Kyle, thank you for coming on, buddy. Appreciate it. He's beautiful. I don't know nothing about corgis, but that is my daughter's absolute favorite dog is the corgi breed.
I got some. Alicia sent me a. This is adorable.
Farm and HVAC, welcome. We got James on here. Petway's 3 Creek Farms has come on board. So, all right. Who sent it in?
Alicia. She also sent in a video, but I cannot download the video. But it's cute. So here I'll pull this dog. I'm telling you, Dad, is absolutely adorable. So this is. And that thing, every single morning he wakes up and he eats breakfast with Alicia, and then she goes home and she eats lunch with him at lunch, and he literally just eats packaged like meat slices, so ham, turkey, chicken, whatever.
That sounds like a spoiled dog.
He is a very spoiled dog. They also have a camera that points at his kennel all day long. That way, at any point during the day, Alicia, all she has to do is go to her phone and she can see him. Yeah.
Well,
Spoiled rotten.
Well, I think that's awesome. Everybody loves their doggos. Kyle says, sorry, battery about dead. Does she have the Pembroke Welsh Corgi? I'm not sure what she has, Kyle. It's a short-haired dog that looks like a Italian sausage with short legs. That's all I know. So if that's what a Pembroke Welsh Corgi is, then yes, that's what she has. Little Rick, I wish you would use the name tag so I wouldn't feel stupid not knowing who I was watching when I come on late. Who was that?
So we had Kyle Randall. I don't use the name tags usually just because it gets confusing with Rick, but I'll turn them on if somebody else wants to come on. But that was Kyle Randall and then Laura from Hedgehog Homestead. So they've come on, and then a little bit earlier we had Hat Creek, and we also had Nisi from Freehandly Made. So
James, you want to talk about your dogs? I know you got dogs.
And we'll share the link. We got a couple more minutes to go ahead, and if you want to jump on, we can go ahead and share. And again, read the tag or the banner below, and I'll put your pup up on YouTube if you want to see him on the live. So,
Boone, you want to come on, chat about your dogs or dog? Twin Brook Acres, Petway 3 Creek Farms. There were no name tags because there's going to be a test later. No test. I would fail any memory test. I promise that. Paula Wells, thank you for stopping by and moderating for us. Always much appreciated. Paula's got to jump on to another live. She is the moderator extraordinaire. James says, no, not tonight. You don't want to see what is in front of the camera right now. All right, I'll take your word for it. I thought Lala was going to jump on here at some point, but she took off to the barn. Boone says, oh, I don't have a dog. Thank you. Oh, all right. Jake, how are you? Nunya, Texas on the back 20. Good evening, sir. You want to talk about your dog, Jake? Come on. Rick shared the link a little bit earlier. So we'll fill some airtime here. So we had a big deal happen this week on the farm, or on our channel. So we went over 6,000 subs this week, which is pretty darn awesome. And so I think as of the time that we came on tonight, we are sitting at right at about 6,020. So we just want to say thank you to every one of you that are on here, and tell you just how appreciative we are of your ongoing support. And we're kind of working on some things to kind of enhance the lives that we do. Almost get back to kind of how we were doing this at the beginning, where we were doing a lot more channel sharing. We got away from that because it was taking a lot of time, and work started getting in the way. So, but we're looking at kind of redoing, kind of changing how we're doing our lives. Since Rick does a lot of the production on the lives in terms of bringing things up, I don't know how to do all that stuff. So, he will be kind of in charge of a lot of that. So we are Garden Gales. Welcome. I don't think I've seen you in one of our lives, so we appreciate you stopping by. Michael Keener, how are you, sir? Michael Keener is in quite a bit. Michael's been a great supporter of La La Farm. Actually has some of our goats over in the central Florida, north central area of Florida. So we were pretty stoked to kind of cruise over that 6,000 and just really, really happy. But again, we could not do it without you all's support. Got Jalen Keener. How are you, ma'am? That's Michael's wife. I think I saw Sandy come in. Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona. I am well, Sandy. How are you doing? I'm doing very well. Sandy just moved back down. I say moved. She splits her time between Wyoming and Arizona, and now they're down in Arizona. And it's a chore to get a garden going in one spot, and Sandy does it in two spots. So she's an impressive lady. If you haven't been over to that channel, go over there and check Sandy at Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona out. She does everything I do in two different places, two different states. So she's down in her winter home now down in Arizona. Southern Roots, welcome. Sweeney's Creek just checked in. Just come in and say hi. Sandy says 90 degrees most days, 8 inches of snow back home in Wyoming. Yeah, it was on your members live, our members video the other day, and heard you saying that it's supposed to be like 8 inches up there. That's crazy. That's why I moved to Florida 30 years ago, is because I have no interest in that snow no more. Well, folks, it is running up on 8 o'clock. I think we're going to probably sign off. We don't have any more folks coming on and want to talk about their doggos. So this was fun. You kind of got to know a little bit more about folks and their dogs, and this was fun. So I know it's something that we think a lot of, and enjoy our dogs' time with them. And I'm sure everyone else has as well. So, Rick, any closing comments?
No, sir. Thank you guys, everybody, for coming in and watching and participating in the live, and the ones that went over to Facebook and posted the pics of your pups. Thank you for letting us showcase your fur babies. Like Papa said, everybody loves their dogs. So.
All right, folks. Again, thanks for your ongoing support. We greatly appreciate it. The only reason we've been able to kind of reach the milestone we have at 6,000 subs is because of your ongoing support. And we're constantly trying to figure out new ways to provide that. We got some things that we're working on right now. By the way, we're going to start doing some giveaways again, probably week after next. We used to do weekly giveaways, and we're going to start that back up. We got some cool things that we're going to be doing. So check in next week, every Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. And, so we will see you next week. Remember, always treat others as you would like to be treated. Lala Farm out.